$1,000 for his wife to fly to Europe with him last year. Our CNN senior politics writer, Juana Summers, joins us now with the latest from Washington. Juana?
Hey, Erica. Secretary Shulkin on Capitol Hill this morning speaking to the House Veterans Affairs Committee. He tells lawmakers that the optics of the situation are not great, that he regrets decisions that were made that take away from his focus on serving America's veterans. That didn't seem to satisfy at least one lawmaker on that panel, though. Congressman Mike Coffman of Colorado, he's a Republican who called yesterday on Secretary Shulkin to resign. He said it's not the optics of the situation that are bad, it's the facts that are bad here.
Well, we should point out, too, this is not the only issue that we're following. EPA Chief Scott Pruitt, as we know, also this week defending his travel. What's the latest there?
Scott Pruitt telling a number of New Hampshire media outlets this week that he actually has had a number of incidents involving his safety that have happened since he became the EPA's administrator. He says he personally has no involvement with where he's seated on planes, whether he flies first class or not. He says those decisions are left up to his staff and his security detail.
Juana Summers with the latest for us there. Juana, thank you.
Thank you.
A bipartisan group of senators, we're learning, has reached an immigration deal which offers nearly 2 million Dreamers a path to citizenship. Their compromise would also boost border security. It is still unclear, however, whether that effort has enough votes to pass. Suzanne Malveaux is on Capitol Hill with the latest there. Suzanne?
Good morning, Erica. Well, I spoke with Senator Bill Nelson this morning, who was on the phone with Senator Chuck Schumer about 15, 20 minutes ago. He is optimistic that the bipartisan plan will pass. He says what happened yesterday in negotiations, it went from allowing Dreamers' parents to stay in the country for 3 years, eliminating that, to prohibiting them from sponsoring their parents' legal status. He believes that is what is going to get enough Republicans, as in 11 Republicans, to join Democrats to push this through. The process, of course, they need 60 votes to move an amendment or a plan forward. There'll be 4 different plans or amendments put forward. One is a bipartisan effort that is not likely to pass, too favorable to the Dreamers. The second, from Senator Toomey, is also an amendment that would punish sanctuary cities, not expect to get the 60. What is expected is the third one. That is the bipartisan plan, Rounds-Collins. It includes a 10 to 12-year path to citizenship for DACA recipients, including the Dreamers, $25 billion in a border security trust. What it does is it also, though, leaves in the diversity visa lottery program, and that is a big one that the president wants to eliminate, and that would be the fourth plan expected not to pass. So we're going to wait and see what happens in the Senate, which of these plans gets that critical 60, and what the president and how the president reacts to it today. Erica.
Suzanne, thank you. Still to come, a community in mourning, their worst nightmares realized. President Trump, as we mentioned, will be addressing the nation shortly. First, though, John Berman speaks to the state representatives who says hell is waiting for this shooter. We're live in Florida next.
Hello? No one asked us to go into the chaos.
Hello.
Into the heartbreak.
Welcome.
It's the story that drives us forward.
Here we have the memo.
It's the story that needs to be told. This is why we go.
Let's go live to CNN senior international correspondent, Nima Al-Bagher.
For the Syrians and their families.
For somebody to tell